Hi everyone, this is CherryEnchantress, and this is your reading for the month of May 2025 if you're watching in real time, but you can also take these messages for a timeless reading whenever you stumble upon it. You can just listen to it for the messages and watch along. So May reading is going to focus on love, health, prosperity, abundance, and spirit. And so we're going to see where you thrive in every area for this month. We have 3 cards to choose from this lovely Beltane Oracle, Seasons of the Witch Beltane Oracle. And card 1 is the Wildcat. Be still and tune in, for there is something afoot lurking alongside you. Pile 2 is the Cow. May the embrace of all that is nurturing you awaken in all that you are becoming. And pile 3 is the Goat. Fearless I am in the path I choose, for I've never been led astray, always finding my way. And then we have the numbers 44, 5, and 13. So you can choose by timestamp, by number of the card, or position of the card. 1, 2, or 3. But before we do, let's take a deep breath in through your nose. Close your eyes. Release your breath through your mouth. Open your eyes and let them be drawn to the pile that's calling you. Pile 1, 2, or 3. Let's begin. But before we begin, real quick, I'm going to do a collective message for everyone. So the psychics have been really vibrating highly and coming up with interesting messages for the month of May. And so I just want to see collectively in the world sense, like happenings in the world, if there's anything that we need to be prepared for, or how we should treat this month collectively. Okay, let's see if we can get a special message using this oracle deck, the Beltane oracle deck. Oh, very good. Well, that's nice. I approve of this message already. So the general message is indulgence. You are worthy every desire, every dream, or you are worth every desire and every dream. Demand what is yours, demand what you need. Interesting for the collective. And we have the full moon in May is in Scorpio, and we have another full moon here. So powerful manifesting moon as well coming through. And indulgence sounds nice. I'm actually trying not to indulge, but but self-worth is saying that, and that's what this is about. Indulgence is about self-worth. Beltane is a natural time of indulgence when the earth offers a feast for both eyes and stomachs as spring comes alive and expands in bursts of colors and blooms. Like Mother Earth, you too will come alive when you indulge yourself. Indulgence doesn't necessarily mean eating an entire box of chocolates, though sometimes this may be required. The most productive way to indulge yourself is to acknowledge your worth and needs. Demand what is yours by giving to yourself first. Do you always put others before yourself? Are you working hard to fulfill someone else's dreams rather than your own? Do you stifle your own desires in favor of someone else's? Your dreams, needs, and desires matter just as much as anyone else's, even more so because they are waiting patiently within your heart, waiting for you to find the time and space to bring them to life. All right, that's a beautiful message. So now let's move on to the pile that you picked. It will be in the timestamps called chapters below the description, and so you can jump to the chapter that you desire to watch. And I'll see you there. Let's begin. You chose pile number 1, and you have the Wildcat. Be still and tune in, for there is something afoot lurking alongside you. And with it, we have the Green Witch. So everything is getting very green now, especially if you're in the northern hemisphere, which is the majority of the people watching me. Most of you are in the northern hemisphere. Thank you very much for joining me for wherever you're from. And so the Wildcat is about danger, and we all often have to, sometimes there's things where, it's not that danger is something that has to make you paranoid, right? Or has to make you look around every corner. But being aware is always important. Sometimes there are forces swirling around you that have missed your eye, like a ferocious cat lurking silently in the trees. Someone or something is nearby that does not have your best intentions in mind. Wildcat has appeared in your sped to warn you that it is not as it seems. You may have felt an unease creeping along your spine, or perhaps you've picked up on a sense of danger but have questioned the validity of what you feel because your eyes are seeing a different picture. Trust in your instincts, as they are letting you know that something isn't right even if you don't have proof. And also, it's interesting because we have a strong instinct, which is part of our survival mechanism. And we also have intuition, which is a gift from higher sources. But sometimes we need to rely more on our primal energies, the prickling on our neck and the uneasy feeling in our stomach. There's other things that we should pay attention to more than just signs from the universe, of seeing angel numbers and things like that. Sometimes you have to pay attention to the negative sensations as well sometimes. And it's not about I'm not trying to get you to manifest anything negative in your life, but I'm trying to help you see that there's a balance. Like, even positive people can have negative energies around them, and they might not see it if they are in a certain mindset to not believe it or not see, not accept it. And this is hard for me too. This is very hard for me too. So it's important to be just aware. That's all it is an awareness. It's not being afraid. It's not being looking around every corner. But it may be about investigating a little bit or protecting yourself a little bit so you can be ready if you need to be ready. I feel like this month there could be some strange things happening, and it's not going to affect everyone, but it will affect some. So those of you that may be affected by certain circumstances should be protected, right? Should at least have things in preparation for certain circumstances. So I'll always keep that in mind, just make sure you have things ready for certain circumstances, whatever they may be, what you would need in, let's say, if a hurricane came by or something like that. It's a little early for hurricane seasons, but just use that as an example. I think it's a logical kind of thing to always have like a certain set of supplies, like even a first aid kit, to have a first aid kit nearby, or one in your home and one in your car, things like that. You don't want to drive around without a jack in your car, maybe, things like that. It's just like being prepared. So, but this is about a person that may not have their best intentions for you. So there is a kind of protection that you should do for yourself as well. And there's lots of things that you can do to protect yourself. But keep in mind, that sometimes people don't always have our best intentions. And be careful about them too, like about how you question them. They could play a really good game of being innocent on the surface and turn you into the victim, and turn you into the one that seems to be to make other people believe you're the dangerous one or you're the scary one. So don't call them out or question them to their face. You have to be strategic about this, because they may be hiding something from you. And it may not even be a bad thing, but it's unseen. So discern with your time, resources, information, and only share what's absolutely necessary, and gather all information before you make any future decisions. And yes, but the Green Witch is a good helper in this situation. She will give you the wisdom that you need to discern, and also the protection spells and things that you need to carry on. And I'm not huge into Wiccan and pagan and things like that necessarily. I'm more of a cosmic fairy, but I believe in this case, nice earthly ritualistic spells could be very helpful for you. So and because also we're in May, and it's a very lush, thick green time of year, and it's important in this time of year to have those kinds of protections. All right, and so the Green Witch is saying that there is fresh and new spring energy, and this energy is beautiful and wonderful and healing, and this is going to be your ally through the difficult times. Or you may not even feel anything, but you may sense something, and others may think you're paranoid, but you're not paranoid. You're actually, your instincts are kicking in. It's instinctual. So don't worry about them. Lead and allow the Green Witch to help you in this situation. Also, because the Green Witch is saying, when you are pure of heart, the whole world is full of potential. And this is the message from the innocent Green Witch to you. She is green as in the fresh new shoot from the seed pushing urgently towards the sun. She is green and connected to the earth, flowing with you with the cycles of nature. And she's green in that she looks as much to the natural world for company, friendship, and fulfillment as you currently do to fellow humans. She is your reminder to begin to connect to the wild green world, to the fairy forests all about you, and to go back to a place where you empty yourself of expectations and stories and knowledge, and you just admit that in some circumstances and sometimes you are as a babe, you are a newborn, and in that moment of unknowingness and of admitting and embracing your powers of renewal, you can finally learn what it is you are here to learn. Be not so certain or so experienced when this card comes to you. Be new, be fresh, be unwise, be unknowing, be innocent, and then the new cycle can truly begin. So it's interesting. It's like, I feel like there is an innocent energy, and sometimes a predator comes when they see an innocent. But at the same time, when you have this sort of attitude that you maybe know everything, or you're not worried about it or whatever, the predator can come, and those times even worse, right? So I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just saying be aware. And I feel like this is for just a few, like, the message is just mainly to be careful. That's all. All right, so let's see what the tarot has to say. I didn't know the Wildcat was going to be so dangerous. Could be, it may not be that dangerous. It could just be a Leo that has other ideas. I don't know. It's not as honest as you may think. Who knows what it is, but there's just something. All right. All right, you have the Tower. So a shakeup could be happening in May for you, but I feel like that with a little foresight, with a little, as long as you know a little bit ahead of time, then the impact won't be as strong. you won't feel it as much. And you might not feel it at all. This could just be a world event or something on the outside that doesn't particularly affect you. But there does feel like there is a big shakeup happening. And so it's important for you to, again, be prepared. And the good news about the Tower, even though the Tower never seems like good news, is that after all of this happens, finally there's this like, it's like angels singing after this. This was so necessary, and it has to happen. It has to happen in order to expose the individual, maybe. So let's see what that card is. Ah, yes, the Knight of Wands. Whoever that is, I feel like that's a good guy. You know, he's targeting the person or thing that's going on here. He's the target. And he's not the target. He is he's the hero. So it could be you, or it could be somebody you're associated with. The Knight of Wands is very passionate. I don't think the Knight of Wands is the same as the Wildcat. I just don't feel their connection. I feel like the Knight of Wands is going to face down the Wildcat. He's brave, very brave. This could be somebody you hire even, let's say, you know, if it's a court dispute or something, and there's somebody who wants to, like, this is just an example. Somebody wants to sully your name, you know, say something negative about you, defame or defraud you, or anyway, give you a bad reputation of some sort, then this person will come to your assistance. They will help you. It also feels possibly romantic, but we'll see about the other cards. Okay, it's something having to do with your money situation. So yeah, I feel like a win in your favor, that your money situation is going to be on the up and up. So this is good news to me. Like, even if there's danger, it's not going to affect your money situation. In fact, you may get some kind of win or gain or settlement or something from this, from the outcome. You have the Hierophant, and that's Taurus energy and wisdom, knowledge, a person who is likes tradition and follows the rules. But this particular Hierophant uses the full moon again, the full moon. So when I started the reading, you might want to refer, if you didn't watch the little collective reading, you might want to check that out. But we're having a full moon in Scorpio this month, and so the moon cycles could play a very important part in how you make choices and go about things. And then you have the Knight of Coins. So you have two knights here. There's two kind of younger action energy, active energy. It could be male or female, doesn't matter. And so you could see yourself, or you could see somebody else in this position. But the coins is stability, and the wands is fire and passion. And coins could be the coins. The Ace of Coins, the Hierophant, and the Knight of Coins are all about money and your money situation, and it looks very stable, and it looks like you have an advocate in your money situation, whatever that may be. So that could be a win, it could be a settlement, it could be a new boss, it could be leveling up, getting a promotion, and things like that. So good news as far as money's concerned. But the Hierophant, I shouldn't say but, and the Hierophant is that the process is going to be very traditional, very, very what you used to, like not And it's not going to be outside the box thinking kind of thing. It's going to be very like go by the rules and follow the normal way, with a little hint of maybe a little astrology, maybe a little magic too. Like has a little vibes of the high priestess and little magician vibes as well. So it's not a complete traditional like priest like Hierophant. This is a little bit more of a sage-like Hierophant. All right, so let's see what the forecast is using the Fairy Forecast deck. Okay. And again, you have fire. The fire energy is going to be very important in the month of May. Well, maybe more on this side because this is where the fire. So, so fire rituals could be helpful, saging and things like that. Bonfires even. As far as timing is concerned, if you're wondering when a particular thing may happen, it could have something to do with this element and how that you get a gut feeling. You know, the fire, the gut feeling may make you act in a certain determined way, which is, I think, what you're going to have to do. Take a certain kind of action. Or someone may take a kind of action towards you. Or you may have fire in your chart, or dealing with a fire sign person with strong fire in their chart. Or this could be a time for a fire ritual or a friendly bonfire with the company of friends. Or it could also represent, like in a love situation, like a burning passion. So let's get a little card to see what your love situation is this month. So let's see. Tell us about love. This is my romantic fairy deck. Oracle deck. All right, so you are having guided steps to a great love. Follow the path of ascension. So don't hesitate. Follow this energy when you're feeling it. If it feels right, then it is right, and keep going with it. It's about an ascension energy, and funny how we have ascension on this side of the reading too. Like you're moving up. You know, you're going places in this world, and you maybe you're leveling up both in your love life and in finances as well, or in your job, maybe getting a promotion. Let's see the feelings in bloom. Oh, that was fast. Inspired, very nice. So Inspired says, I breathe life into new ideas. So that's kind of your spirit message here, saying that the best way to move forward in May is let yourself be inspired and breathe into new ideas, because we had this new energy with the Green Witch as well. I know it's hard sometimes when things seem scary, but it's still okay to have a new, fresh outlook and attitude. I feel like it may come quickly, like right after a kind of shakeup, then a whole new situation appears for you, and then you can level up and things get way better after that. And I feel like anything that was an issue will be exposed. And so if you're having some kind of trouble with a person or situation, then I think it will be resolved and exposed. And that's a good thing. I think your love life can also level up here, and And I feel like that's a happy message as well. And meeting different people that will be good guides. But I feel like it's important to stay in that learning energy. The Hierophant is both the teacher and the student. And so sometimes we may feel like we know a lot like a teacher, but it's important also to humble ourselves and be the learner and listen. And then that inspires us to come up with this new idea that will launch some really great success for you. All right, so let's get some charms. Oh, look, you get the little birdie. I just cleaned my altar here. Let's see, where is the little bird? There it is. The little bluebird story. The bluebird of happiness, charm. This little bluebird is special, so cheery and merry too. He's here for just one reason, to bring happiness to you. Just keep him close or carry him. Enjoy each and every day. This little bluebird of happiness will bring smiles along the way. So that's very nice. A so cute birdie. So you have please play. Listen. It almost feels like somebody's asking you to play a song and listen to it, or play a tape or a video or something that, please play this and listen to it. So you know how when people send you things, and I do this with my son, he'll send me something and I don't watch it, like a video or something. But maybe it's meant for you to listen to. Okay, so we have the number 3 twice. We have Leo. Oh my goodness. So watch out for those Leos. When they're good, they're wonderful people. They're generous. But sometimes it could be a negative energy. Leos have strong, I don't know, passion and lust for life, and they could be a little arrogant, you know. We have 6. You have the piano, so very nice music coming through, a little key to open up things. Oh, you have the Girl Scout. Now the Girl Scout has a oath, and the oath is, on my honor, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout law. So that could be like an oath that you give yourself, or an oath that you make towards someone, or some organization or something. You have France and the fleur de lis and the number 24601. This kind of represents Les Mis musical to me, and you might like to learn more about that story to know what that signifies to you. And then we have the sun and moon, yin yang. So you could be meeting somebody who is a nice balance to you. You have the spider. I like spiders. To me, they're protective creatures. It could be, it could be that sometimes we make little things into scary situations, but I feel like in this case, only in May, in this case, for some of you out there that resonate with this, there is a particular energy that doesn't have the best interest for you, but you have the power. And then the spider also is a protective energy and looks out and creates a web and catches the bad guys in their web. So I feel like something from the spider means that there's going to be some kind of trap, and you'll find out who this is through the spider web somehow. And you have drinking, and this, to me, that usually like the wine just sort of means a celebration. The star means hope and music in your life, a special song. The pine cone is good too. Sometimes it can be about money, but I also like to see it representing the pineal gland and your psychic abilities too. So there you have it, and I hope you like that. And if you didn't resonate with this pile, that's okay. You can move on to another pile, or just move on anyway to get more messages. And I'll see you there. And you chose pile number 2 with the cow. All right. And with the cow, we have the fairy godmother. So the cow says, may the embrace of all that is nurturing you awaken in all that you are becoming. Okay, Miss Cow. She looks like a Miss Cow. And this is about nurturing. And cows represent all things related to a happy home. So May is the month of happy home life, which is very nice. Stability, nourishment, and the mother archetype. A cow's size may seem overwhelming, but you cannot help but feel a sense of comfort when close by these gentle spirits. Like the love of a mother, you should seek out cow spirit when you need a loving but tough push. Cow encourages you to do all you can to build a strong foundation for your goals. Your situation requires you to return to the basics of nurturing and support before moving forward. Do you have the basic requirements for what you are seeking? If you are starting a business or buying a home, do you know what paperwork needs to be filled or filed, or what supplies you might need? If you are starting a new job, do you have all of the skills needed to be considered to be qualified? So the cow does not invite criticism, and neither should you. You're simply being guided to examine whether or not you have all that you need and feel comfortable and safe. Sometimes you have to return to the beginning to understand where you're going. Though be warned, if you continue to walk this path as is, you may be in danger of building on a cracked foundation. Left unrepaired, you may find yourself in greater trouble further down the road. So it's interesting. No spoiler alerts, but okay, spoiler alert. We already had the tower come out, but so towers happen when, there's the foundation isn't sturdy or there's something that needs to be fixed. But anyway, I feel like overall the cow energy is happy. And back to, if you watched in the intro, I gave a general message about May and maybe like world events or collective energy, what may happen in May, because I've been hearing psychics say a lot of interesting things. And so I just wanted to get an energy update on that for the collective. And so I feel like you're going to be fine this month, but you should be prepared. The same way as you prepare for a job, you should prepare your home for things like whenever there's natural situations happening, like whenever a hurricane comes or some kind of situation that you naturally prepare for wherever you live in the world. You're always you always have some kind of survival gear or whatever that you have ready, and it's always good to have a little money tucked away, or non-perishable items stored and things like that. So I think that's kind of what's going on here. It's a little bit of stuff like that. Also, yes, that's what I was hearing something as like, it's hard when I'm talking and then I'm hearing something at the same time. But I feel like you're going to be fine. I know what I'm hearing. Be sure to also have like things like a first aid kit inside your car and inside your house. Those kinds of things are, those are just handy, and they're kind of common sense type things that we don't think about until we need them, right? So keep up with those kinds of things too in your home, and you'll be fine. And so just be aware of that stuff. And then I feel like our fairy godmother here she's sort of a protection through any time we need her. And she's all about revelation, discovery, and epiphany. So when the fairy godmother comes to you, be aware that this is a time when you will discover what has been long hidden to you. Your true self will be revealed in a surprising way, and even every day you'll notice a little bit more and more, and then suddenly it'll be even heightened perception will make a very special, significant moment for you. People finally get get found out. Oh my gosh, this happened. This is the last thing I said in the pile 1. Okay, so if you came from pile 1, it's very interesting how they correlate. But people finally get found out. Manipulators can be seen through. True costs of circumstances are revealed, and any lies about you will be seen. This can be hard, but is truly a hardship that is born of protection. You are safer for knowing in whom you can trust in order to make the right choices for your soul. Throughout these revelations and insights will be a guiding hand, and this is the fairy godmother. She is showing you what it is you need to know in order to create and foster a life that works for you, and she is a protective force too. So what you need will come to you now, sometimes in very strange ways. Be mindful of counting your blessings at this time, for this is the energy your fairy godmother can draw upon to keep transforming your life into one that is more abundant, magical, meaningful, and joyful. Note, every moment of truth, they are all significant, and you are better for discovering what was once hidden from you. So it's important that this came out. It may be a bummer, maybe, but it is also, it's also revealing, enlightening, relieving. It's you'll get a strong sense of relief and an empowerment too. An empowerment that you were able to discover something with the help of your fairy godmother and that you were able to carry on and move on and live more authentically. All right, so let's see what the tarot has to say. But I feel like the home life is generally peaceful. All right. Very interesting. Very interesting that we have 2 piles that connect. So far, I haven't done pile 3, so I don't know if all 3 piles connect. All right, very nice. You have the world at your fingertips. Oh, the Hanged Man. I thought it was the world. It looks like the world, but it could be like representing the world. And it came out reversed. Interesting. And not that I don't necessarily mean read reversals, but it's kind of an interesting view, right? She almost looks like she's actually standing up, and that is like the world, and it almost kind of feels like, you know, like floating in space. Feels like that. So that she has the world there because she's got the pentacles, but the pentacles are floating up, so it's like she's weightless, like gravity, like no gravity kind of energy to me. It's interesting. But so it's like, and just in that description of it is exactly what the Hanged Man means. It means take a different perspective. It's not always going to, you know, the way you figure something out is not always the obvious thing. It sometimes a little bit can be something different. So that could be the way you discover things this month, through a different point of view, to get clarity on people, places, things, situations, events, your life, your purpose, and all of those things. Let's see what else. And you have the 2 of Wands. So very hopeful and looking forward to what's to come, making plans, writing lists, making strategies, creating priorities, making steps. Take it day by day and week by week, and as you write down each step, check them off and be proud of yourself for doing. I used to do this all the time. I would make lists and lists and lists and check them off as I go and give myself a little mini pat on the back. I haven't done that in a while, but this is the kind of month where I'm going to probably need to do something like that. It's going to be kind of busy. It's interesting because recently my mom was a vice president of some organization, and the president stepped down. So now she has more responsibilities. I guess she's filling in for the president. She doesn't really have that much resources or information or experience in such things, but she's doing the best she can, and she'll need lots of help. And I feel like eventually I'm going to have to step in and help her a little bit. But that's one area that I think I'm really good at, is organizing and making outlines and taking certain steps, and not trying to do too much at once. Like, do the very next thing that you have to do, or make a list, and before this happens, what do you have to do before you make that even happen? So there's a lot of sometimes preparation before an actual action. So that, so just be aware that, there's going to be like small steps into the big picture. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Moving up, moving ahead, moving toward the good things in life. All right. And you have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords, very beautiful. This represents like an aha moment. The page is an aha person. The page is a messenger, honest. Somebody's giving you a very direct, honest message. I don't know why, but in pile 1, I kind of sensed a private investigator, and again, I'm feeling sort of that energy. And I didn't mention it in pile 1 because I just feel like it doesn't have to be specifically a person that's investigating anything, but I feel like there's information coming out, and something's going to be revealed very specifically and very notably. And again, with the sword, the Ace of Swords is the aha moment. Like, I feel like you are going to make this big, like, understanding, a huge sigh of understanding. All right. And so money-wise, things are gonna be great. The Three of Coins is that says you're creating something with somebody else, or that many people admire the things that you create, or you're creating a collection of things. So, or a book that has 3 chapters, or an item that has, like a mini movie that has, sequel, part 2 and part 3, something, a series of things. So it's not going to be just stop at one item or one thing that you create. It's going to keep going and going and going. So yeah, that's where your strong suit is, in your creations for the month of May. And I feel like a general sense of enlightenment. And the enlightenment comes for everything in your life, like the people you meet, the situations that you've been uncertain about are going to clear up. The money things in your life are going to make sense and clear up, and your worth is going to level up. Your self-worth for your way you see yourself. We have 2 more, and I don't have any place to put them, but I think they're important. So we got the Queen of Wands. This is kind of like you being like boss babe, in your energy, your high vibing energy, your sex appeal too. And the Chariot is about moving and driving and triumph and being a champion and conquering and having great success. So very successful in all areas of your life. And people taking notice and admiring too. But also I feel like this is not like very important to you how other people think. You just are this energy. And you're also kind of have a purity about you too, a youthful purity that shines through as well, a pure, youthful, honesty. And I feel like kind of like the Cinderella to the fairy godmother, she sees the goodness, and she sees how it's your karmic reward to be assisted in this, whatever it may be. All right, so let's get a fairy forecast. We have the fairy forest here, and then the fairy forecast. So what's the forecast? All right, you have nesting. So for some of you out there, because the cow mentions nurturing and mothering energy, there could be some of you out there that are expecting, and it's time to nest, literally. Nesting is in the 3rd trimester. But of course, if that doesn't resonate with you, this can also be that energy of nesting, of preparing again, with the preparations, and the cow preparing, and the other cards talking about preparations. So prepare your home, prepare yourself, prepare your environment. That's a perfect example. Before your baby comes, you want to make sure you have a crib, you want to make sure you have a stroller in baby bottles, and baby bags, and tons of diapers. I mean, before baby comes, it literally is like we are packing up for survival, right? Because it is our baby's survival. So it's same thing for you and for your environment. Whatever you need to make sure you have plenty of, then just have plenty of it, And you don't have to get carried away, but essential things that you may have not have thought of before, now's the time to think of it. All right, so let's see what is the feelings in bloom for this month. Okay, very nice. This beautiful bouquet is saying, honest, I live my life with integrity. So that's what this lady is. She's a very honest person, full of integrity, and being happy. My light is contagious. So yeah, I feel like there you go. Like this light, a beautiful glow about you. Keep shining your light, because that is contagious, and people will always want to. I know people are quite attracted to that light, and so you also have to protect yourself from the negative energy whenever you're such a light attraction. But at the same time, you don't want to dim just because of that. Let's see what's happening in love life. I'm curious now after all of this. Using the Romantic Fairy Oracle. All right, so you have freedom, a healthy space, and room to breathe. So there is no codependency in this connection that you have with somebody, whoever it may be, and it may be nobody yet. Maybe you're just taking your own time for yourself right now. But there is a chance for honest communication, and I feel like that's just everywhere here. Honesty, enlightenment, the truth coming out, and all of that. So expect a heart-to-heart conversation. So if you also have in your love life area, you have some questions, if you need to know more about a person and why things happen the way they happen, or who they are, what they're doing, what are they thinking, and things like that, all of that's going to come out. You're going to learn more and more about this person, and then you're going to start to feel a lot better about what's going on. All right, so let's get some charms. Oh, you have the witch's hat. So use your intuition and your high powers. And then you have the sun that shines on everything, illuminates things, enlightens, clarifies. Think of me. Think of me always. Think of funny things. Lighten the mood. You have, this kind of reminds me of the chariot, the wheel. So you really are in charge of your direction, and it looks like you're having a lot of success this month. But also remember how things can shift. So pay attention to astrology is what I'm hearing. I see the wheel sometimes come out when we're having a Mercury retrograde, which May does not have any Mercury retrogrades, but we do have Pluto going retrograde. And I don't know how it affects every individual, but it could be something that might stir things a little bit for you. So keep that in mind as well. So check on those dates. Oh, interesting. You have this axe. This, for some reason, this makes me think of the Tin Man chopping the wood. However, I haven't given this one a meaning yet, so you decide what the axe means for you. You have the Capricorn, which is ambitious. And you have the Peso, which is all about this. Sometimes you can think of it as money and foreign places and things like that, and currency, but it also shows an eagle battling a snake. So it could be like, the good winning out. It could represent, yes, I think the good winning out, finding that snake and championing over the snake. Or it could be battling and fighting demons and winning out. Not necessarily, though. I mean, that's kind of a big word. But, battling anything that's harsh or hard within your world will be an easy success, I feel. And then you have the little fairy in the moon. So you might be getting messages from fairies. You might have interesting dreams. Write down your dreams and then check on them later and see if they make any sense to you. And then we have the anchor. That's great. A lot of stability. And then we have infinity symbol. So infinity makes me think of Infinity on Magnetize Yourself. I listen to her a lot because she has a very soothing voice, and she resonates so much with me sometimes. It just kind of like personal reading feels like a lot of the time. And I know when you watch me and you feel like this is like a personal reading, I understand how that feels, and know how that feels because I get the same feeling with other readers myself. And that's good because that resonant feeling will help you move in the right direction. But I feel like infinity just means like there could be a love romance. Either you're already connected to someone who is eternally yours, or somebody's coming through like this. It's a very powerful spiritual connection that you may have here. So anyway, I hope you like that. If this pile resonated with you, great. If not, go to another pile or go to other piles anyway and just get more messages. You might like to go back to pile 1 and check out how this one connects with that one. Some of similar messages came out. So all right, I'm going to move on. And you chose pile number 3, the goat. And along with the goat, you have the green man. He's, yes, nice over there. The goat is saying, fearless I am in the path I choose, for I've never been led astray, always finding my way. Kind of cocky, eh? But if you got it, flaunt it, I suppose. It ain't bragging if you can back it up, right? So this goat, or the greatest of all time, is confidence and sure-footedness. Goat is a wonderful card to receive. Its presence in your reading being a sign that ideas, opportunities, and projects are entering your life at this time in May. Yay! You may not see this taking place just yet, but trust that things are happening behind the scenes and will soon become known to you. Your task when receiving this card is to believe in yourself and your gifts. Have you been afraid to reach for bigger goals? Have you limited yourself because you do not believe you are capable of achieving greater things? Goat is here to challenge you to step outside of your comfort zone and scale a bigger mountain. As goats only need a few inches of space to keep their footing, you only need to take small steps to work towards your dreams. You may not have what you need to cross the finish line, but each small action pushes you one step closer. Perhaps you have already achieved much, but wonder if you can reach even greater heights. No matter your step on the success journey, know that talent is only a part of the equation. The only thing truly needed to rise is believing that you can. The rest can be learned as you go. Now let's talk about the goats and the devil. Goats and the devil. And it's interesting because Beltane is so perfect. I don't know if you noticed in my post about Beltane, I posted a drawing that I did of a lady and not a fawn, but he's a satyr. The satyr in the woods. There's a lot of symbols, wooded creatures, and we have Cernunnos and different creatures of the woods. But the satyr is a bit of a goat man, and I used his image in my upcoming tarot deck as the devil. Okay, and the devil has a lot of connotations and meanings over the years, and mostly negative, right? But there is an origin and reason where it comes from. So let's see what the Seasons of the Witch says about it. So there is an overall mistrust in goats as a power animal. They are often demonized and used to represent the Christian symbol of the devil, partly because the green man is often depicted. There's the green man. I did not know that was going to be related. Partly because the green man is often depicted with goat-like features and as having sexual relations with willing young maidens. Over the years, goats have come to be synonymous with evil, destruction, and sin, but this is a misrepresentation of their generous energy. Goat is a wonderful creature to work with and is an ideal energy to invoke the following circumstances. For seeking balance, when you have doubts about your capabilities or skills, for developing determination and ambition, when starting difficult projects, for overcoming challenging obstacles, for young adults who are leaving home for the first time, when perseverance is needed, and so on. And the goat also can represent Capricorn, and it can also represent climbing the ladder of success. And it is an acronym for GOAT, the greatest of all time. So it's so funny. Meryl Streep was called GOAT. I think it was by Jennifer Lawrence. Anyway, and she was a little, kind of didn't know whether to be offended or not, because she didn't have any bad feelings about goats. She was like, okay, yeah, I guess a goat, that's cool and everything. And when people found out that she didn't know what that meant, it was like a little laugh behind the scenes kind of laugh. No, that means the greatest of all time. And the way Meryl Streep took it is kind of like probably the way I would have taken it too, like not getting it at first. My grandmother used to say the little rhyme, "See you later, alligator," and then you're supposed to respond, "After a while, crocodile." Oh yeah, well, I didn't know how to do that or what to do about that. I thought she was just calling me an alligator, and I happened to really hate alligators at that time, thinking that they were like the most evil thing that lived. And so yeah, I thought she was calling me names. So that's just like a little lesson there. Just be aware. Not everything is as it seems, and words. And I mean, think about curse words, for example. It's like, where did that even come from? And the only reason why it has any impact at all is because of what it signifies. But it's just a word, right? So that's kind of interesting. But the more I'll tell you more about the goat. The goat is really based on earth creatures and being part of the earth, and so that's why it has hooves, and so it's very close to the earth. Its connection is a very deep connection, and really it's just really spiraled out from a very simple thing. The first time I learned about the goat and the devil was from Linda Goodman in her books, and I realized, wow, okay, so read a little, you guys. Read a little, learn a little bit more than just videos and short things that pop up on TikTok and stuff. Like, really learn about things, you know. Give the story a chance. Find out more. Let's talk a little bit about the Green Man. So the Green Man is about initiative, fertilization, and action. Not so long ago, all was quiet, dark, and cold, but something has changed, and it will manifest into your world in significant ways, through you and all around you. This is a time of renewal, a time of new beginnings and connections for you. Your energy will be extending itself easefully, and you will fall in love with the new world you are creating. This is a time for you to actively pursue what it is you wish to create in your life, and to acknowledge the presence of the powerful new energies all around you. Each day will bring these changes, and it is as if life force itself is surging through you, and every cell radiates this bright, strong, fierce new energy. To be effective, this energy must be directed, not tamed, but given to places to flow into, and thus you must choose and shape the energies you are experiencing. Nature and its energies shall pour through you when this card comes forth, and it is necessary for you to quickly begin to shape those forces in meaningful ways. This is also a time when you no longer see sharp distinctions between what is the outside of yourself and what is within. You feel linked, connected, a part of a great natural magical world whole, and this empowers you into brave, open-hearted action. Go forward and thrive, dear one. Go forward and thrive. Well, I love that for you. It sounds like an awesome month to me. Sounds like nothing holding you back. The other two piles were a little bit, it felt like they had to deal with something, but it feels like all systems go for pile 3 in the month of May. Let's find out a little bit more. Also, I'm hearing that whoever's watching this could be masculine, but also it could be male, female, masculine, feminine. You can put yourself where you see yourself always. Also, every one of us has a masculine and a feminine energy. So that being said, this pile could be when you tap into your strength of your masculine energy, maybe you find more success than when you are in your feminine energy. So, okay. Also, another thing I felt, multiple things, but you could be getting an assistance of a masculine. So you could be a feminine getting assistance of a masculine, or masculine, but I feel like mostly it's, it's like your opposite is about to come help you. So that's, yeah, that's all, folks. No, that other side of you is stepping up, or a person that represents what you lack. So we're really gonna have to look into your love life too and see what's going on, because the Green Man's also quite sexy. Ooh, okay. We have the Four of Swords. Very nice. Okay. Four of Swords is a good sign. It represents rest, meditation, dreaming, intuition, getting signs. It feels a little, in this case, a little like daydreaming to me too, or kind of like seeing a vision. Yeah, that's what I see, a vision. I've had that happen to me too, where it wasn't a dream, but it wasn't a daydream either. It was like a vision. I've had like weird out-of-body experiences too, where the room just changed. This was way before I was ever into tarot and stuff. Yeah. But I think it was through enlightening books, you know, the enlightening books that I was reading were really helping me get into a meditative mindset. All right, so we have Temperance, very nice. She's all about balance. Kind of, you know, I was just telling my son this the other day. It's important when you, like if you have an outer body experience, you have to ground yourself. You can't have too much of one or of the other. And that's what's good about the goat too. The goat connects you to the earth. If for whenever you need to travel, your soul needs to travel through dreams or whatever the case may be, like a kind of soul journey. You always have to have this groundedness to keep you on earth, right? As above, so below. Mama Gaia and Papa Sky, but a balance of both is very helpful. The Temperance is always also about blending elements. So it could be two things blended together to make something really amazing, like a rainbow after you blend the water and the air, or the sun reflecting on the water, making prisms in the sky. So all of these things can be very magical if you get the right blend of things. And then we have the Three of Wands, and it looks like somebody, like you might be traveling or going on adventure. Normally the Three of Wands is a person standing still, not even moving, but it feels like the plans have already been made, and the first actions are happening in the month of May. Yeah. I'm kind of feeling like the plans are so specifically clear and concise and laid out. It's almost as if you're already there because you've planned it so to the T, like you're, like visions and dreams and daydreams, like you could see yourself there. I feel like there's a lot of you out there that are going to be manifesting really well in May, like so well that you really bring it to you, bring it to reality. Your dreams come reality. That's interesting. And then look at that. You've got the Lovers. So partnerships and romance and connections of all sorts. And yeah, it's very, very sweet. And look, and you also have 8 of coins. So you hit the jackpot, pile 3. I'm jealous. I should have picked this one, but I picked pile 2. In my mind, I did. Because I was so attracted to the little cow. But you know what? Goat energy. So yes, and as far as money and finances are concerned, you are going to do really well for yourself. You're going to, the 8 represents skill, mastery, knowing what you're doing, and promotions and leveling up and having plenty. I just want to say, because I said this in the other 2 piles, it's important to prepare for, when you prepare for a hurricane or something, to always have some supplies ready. Just be a person that has supplies ready. That's the only caveat I have to say, but I'm not going to say too much more because I feel like your month is so successful that you probably won't even need any supplies. You won't need that to dip into, your emergency fund or anything like that. You will be fine. But I think that it's not always a good thing to just have it ready there. And you're probably the kind of person that already does. Like you're already this person that has storehouse stocked with goods and freezers and things like that, full of frozen things, whatever. Like you store. You may have a cellar, whatever. Like you are good at having supplies that you need. And I feel like you're very abundant too. So you have plenty in the bank, and you also have plenty in other areas. Like you don't put all your money in one place. So, you know, and you could easily liquidate anything if you needed to, and that kind of thing. So that's what I'm just saying. You're fine. It looks like you're doing great, and you could even, I feel like this month you'll be able to swim through it with no, like nothing's gonna affect you. Like it's everything's fine, and I think it will be. But in the intro, I did mention a little bit about a collective message and how things will be for everybody, and it was a really good message. It's just I just wanted to get my own answer to what some of the psychics have been getting lately, and I feel like in a big picture way, nothing's gonna really affect the collective in a big picture way too badly, but I think some people will be affected by it. So. But this pile, if you're attracted to this one, you're one of those exceptions that you're going to really do well. And in all areas of your life, you're going to get a lot of attention and a lot of good energy coming to you, success, money, love, all of the above. So let's see what's happening in your love life. Using the Romantic Fairy Oracle. You have, reaching out. Expect a call or text from your person of interest. So, you know, it's reaching out. It's a connection, and it's back and forth exchange, possibly. Let's see what your feelings in bloom are. Ooh. So if you're feeling guilty about anything, it's natural. People do have guilty feelings, but the thing is what do you do about it? And you making peace with the past. So anything that you might be feeling guilty about, reach out to a person and clear the air. And if you make peace with your past, then it will make you feel so much better. All right, let's see what's in your forecast using the Fairy Forecast Oracle by me. Oh, and you have water this month. So interesting. One of the piles did get fire, and now we have water. And I kind of predicted one of the piles would get water as well. In the Temperance card, you can see that she's pouring liquid into water, and that's very symbolic. It's like pouring some of what she has into the water, and some of what she has into the earth. So that could be a combination of water and earth. If you're asking about, if you have in your mind a when something is going to happen, that's what this deck, I created it for, to answer the question when. And so with water, the timing might have to do with your emotions, the love and the depth of feeling. There could be a deep psychic connection with a person, maybe. You could be a water sign or dealing with a person who has a strong element of water in their chart. This could also indicate a trip to a river, a lake, or a balmy beach. Or you may find yourself even sea diving or snorkeling, deep sea diving or snorkeling, something like that, you know, or even like mingling with dolphins or other sea creatures. So maybe a little bit early in the season for at least the northern part of the northern hemisphere, but the southerners might be going snorkeling soon. I don't know, like May gets pretty hot here already, so a lot of like beach trips or water adventures could be had, things having to do with the lake and things like that. And also water is a very spiritually cleansing element. Use it, you know, use baths and showers as ritual type ways of clearing energy too, cleansing. All right, so let's see what your charms have to say. All right, we have the soccer ball. So it can literally be soccer, or it also represents like the black and the white. Makes me think of coexisting, keyboard, ebony, ivory, temperance, yin yang. It makes me think like the black is so much more noticeable with all the white around it, and vice versa. The white is noticeable next to the black around it. So it's kind of like how light and dark works as well. You have smile, you're special, forever, celebrate, and be a smiling, celebrating person. And then we also have Jupiter. One of the astrological events is Jupiter going into Gemini, I think on the 15th of May. And so that could be very lucky for people. We also have reaching new heights. Very good. And the bowler cap to me feels like a past life energy. Sometimes the things that we clear up in this life can also clear up past life. If we have contracts that we need to fulfill, then it's about time that we fulfill them. So if there's anything in any area in your life that you feel like, I need to complete something, I need to come clean, I need to come whole with this, I need to follow through, I need to reach out, I need to get to some kind of conclusion, this is the month for it. But I feel like no matter what you do this month, there seems to be lots of abundance and good luck for you, plain and simple. So I hope you like that. Thumbs up if you like that. Feel free to subscribe. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you're not, thank you so much for coming back. You can also become a member. It starts at $1.99 a month and then goes up all the way to $25. And at $25, you can get a $25 reading for 25 minutes plus charms. So that's your bargain. It's like a bargain price for members only. And there's a whole lot. I'm very generous with my members. You know, when we go live, we have really generous live donations, and then I do lots of generous member gifts here and there. But if you want to get a reading with me just using the regular price list, because you just want a one-time only type of reading, then definitely reach out to me with my email address you'll see in the description box. My description box also shows you all kinds of links, so check that out for places to find me and things to buy and so on and so on. And I hope you like that, and thank you again for being with me, and I'll see y'all next time. Faith, trust, and pixie dust.